ticket to a show. See him take a blow. When the drunk one said Cat Stevens was the greatest singer. Did you kick him in the head? Did you see the blood run down? Did you laugh at all when the people walked right by and said aloud, "Don't let punks are all the same."
What is happening? Let me fade this music down. Sorry, Kevin and Better Than Ezra. Hi, everybody. How we doing? It is awesome talking to you guys. So excited to get to share this new EP with you. The Looking Glass is out. I mean, it's out already in some countries. It is 9 p.m. Central here, which means it's 10 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States, which means here in the U.S. it'll be out in like 2 hours, which is crazy. But yeah, so here's kind of what I'm thinking for this. And you guys in the chat can tell me what you think. We're going to listen to each song of the EP in order from start to finish. We'll chat about them. I'll tell you a little bit about the process of writing these songs and recording them, and if there's any cool little tidbits about them. And then we'll all go our separate ways when this is over, whenever it's over. There's no time limit. And then you guys can go buy and stream the Looking Glass EP when it comes out. Crazy. I can't believe it. It's nuts. Thanks, Karen. Karen said nice hair. Thanks. This is at least 5 pounds of hair product. So I appreciate it. And now I messed it up. See, so I have to do that. It's the whole thing. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Who cares? Anyway, let's get into it. Now, bear with me here tonight. I am the producer of this show as well. So all the graphics that you see here and all this stuff, I, with a ton of help from my fantastic, beautiful wife, helped put all this together because she knows how to do this stuff and I don't. So if it looks great, it was her. And if it looks terrible, it was probably me. So go figure. Anyway, let's get cracking, shall we? Track one. Crazy. Track one on this EP is a song called Champion. This song was written not long after like sports in the United States and around the world just kind of shut down and took a pause with this crazy pandemic that we've been living in for the last year. And so Champion kind of stemmed from probably my subconscious urge to like want to watch sports and not be able to watch sports because there was nothing going on. So yeah. Oh, fun little tidbit. This song actually has a couple little cameos on it. One, the drums were recorded by old friend Nick Adams. I was very happy to get him on this. And then my good friend Neil Tiemond actually recorded the guitar solo for this. So it was nice to cross paths with them again and get their footprints and fingerprints on this song because they did a great job. So anyway, oh, you're saying louder, please? I'll turn up. I don't want to turn up too loud because you don't want to be louder than the music. You know what I mean? Let's get into this, shall we? And ready, here we go. Track one, Champion.
You boys settle in now. Get ready for the songs. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is running down my face, but all I'm feeling is the seconds race. So turn it up, let the earth quake, 'cause I'm never gonna give up. Staring down the finish line, I can see the lights breathe fire. I'm gonna make make it to the other side. 'Cause I'm always gonna shout it out till you hear it. You're never gonna hold me down off the ceiling. I'm up off the ground 'cause my time is now. Can you feel it? I'm always gonna shout it out till you hear it. Yeah, I'm the champion. Put my boots into the ground, strong against the fury and the sound. Standing tall, there ain't no falling now. 'Cause I'm always gonna shout it out till you hear it. You're never gonna hold me down off the ceiling. I'm up off the ground 'cause my time is now. Can you feel it? I'm always gonna shout it out till you hear it. Yeah, I'm the champion. I'm always gonna shout it out till you hear it. You're never gonna hold me down off the ceiling. I'm up off the ground 'cause my time is now. Can you feel it? I'm always gonna shout it out till you hear it. Yeah, I'm the champion. Yeah, I'm the champion.
That was Champion. So feel free to ask any questions, by the way, that you have about each song in the chat. I'll try to answer some of them. I know there's a bit of a lag, at least on my end. I think there's like a 30 or 40-second lag. So I'm just going to also tell you, so the little voice at the beginning, so when we asked Nick to track the drums, he added that little thing on the beginning of the recording. We didn't ask him to do it, but Andy, my producer, and Andy, were laughing so hard at it, we decided to keep it in. And at the time, it wasn't going to, Champion wasn't going to open the record. But it was a happy little accident. So now the whole record opens with Nick's little voice memo thing that I don't think he planned on being on the record, but I love it. So anyway. Oh God, it's so good. Well, what do you got? What was that opening? Okay, Sharon, I just answered that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else with that song. Yeah, sell it to WWE. If they want to buy it, or if the WWF, the World Wildlife Fund, if they want to buy it, it's everything has a price tag. Oh God, sorry, I keep laughing about with the guys in a studio to do it. I don't know what their recording setups. I don't know what Nick and Neil's recording setups were. To be honest with you, I think Neil might have just done it at home in his little home studio. So, who will play the guitar solo when shows go live? That will be Jeff, because I can't do that. Are you kidding me? Imogen, inspiration for this. Missing sports. Really. It would be a great Super Bowl song. I don't disagree. If you know somebody who works at the Super Bowl, with the Super Bowl, yeah. Do you have to pay him extra for that opening? I hope not. How have the production on the drums changed from album to album? They're a little more diverse. Some of the drums on this record are programmed, and then some were done. Red Stern Blue we did live with Thomas, my drummer, and then Nick did the drums on Champion. The other songs are programmed, and that was more just out of necessity. I think with the pandemic, kind of the way that it was, it just made more sense, for us to be as careful as we could and not take crazy unnecessary risks for health reasons. So, well, you used to do that cool guitar duel with Neil. Sorry, NFT. I all I think now is the non-fungible tokens. Oh man. I love your font. Oh well, thank you. It's not my font, but thank you. Is Jeff already learning these? Yes. Jeff has learned them. The guys know these songs. They better. Yeah. Well, let's how long did it take to write? I don't recall, to be completely honest with you. Time is merely a social construct after this last year, so it's all relative. I think it might have taken me a couple sessions sitting down and actually focusing on it, but maybe a couple of hours total. A lot of the writing time, at least when I'm kind of demoing the stuff myself, a lot of that time is taken up opening new tracks and getting the sounds right and all that stuff so that you can then sit down and record it, which takes, unless it's a super intricate part that takes a lot of passes, usually gets knocked out in a few minutes. But yeah, a lot of it's just prep work to get the sounds right and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to song number 2 on this new EP, The Looking Glass. You know it. Hopefully you love it. We put a video out for it. It was animated. Honestly, one of my favorite music videos. I think getting to be a part of a different sort of creative process, and building a visual world from scratch, was a lot of fun. The song itself talks about, and I'm sure, if you guys have followed me for the last year, you've heard about this. This song talks about my relationship with my anxiety. And ironically, one of the more nerve-wracking experiences releasing this song, only because I was nervous about kind of, I guess, showing that part of myself. But you guys answered the bell, man. I was really humbled by your response to this song. So I'm very happy it's on the EP. This, if I can get this right. Okay. This is Red Stern Blue. And away we go.
Flip switch, you got the killer itch written on your bedroom walls. Break back, it's like a heart attack. You're feeling that forever fall. Look at you now, look at you now. Oh. Click, shake, you're spinning wide awake. The colors of a fever dream. Sidestep before you pay the debt. You're staring at a static screen. Look at you now,
This is fun. I'm having a good time with this already. That was Reds Turn Blue. Yeah. I saw some questions during that song, and I wanted to try to remember them. So I can't remember exactly who said what, but I did write all the songs on this EP myself. One of the perks of being here at home uninterrupted for the last since December of 2019 was I got to really slow things down and focus on what I wanted to accomplish with each song and sit with lyrics more. And I think the end result, and I've said this in a few interviews, is I really think this whole EP kind of has a little bit more focus to it, and more of a through line. I think certainly this EP has been inspired and influenced by my experiences with this last year. Yeah. So I'm excited that you guys seem excited. Yeah. What does it mean for you to write this song? It's cheaper than therapy, I think is what it is. It was just, yeah, I think all of the songs that seem to have gotten the best response from you guys over the years, and the ones that I tend to feel, an extra sense of pride in, are the ones that feel almost like it's like they're crystallizing a thought or crystallizing a very particular, very precise emotion. Particularly if I can turn that and write about it in a way that feels palatable to whoever's listening to it. So yeah, I don't know. Did the EP help with your anxiety? Sometimes. More in the writing process. I think the recording process presents different challenges, particularly this last year. I mean, it was just there were added steps involved, I think, just for everybody to be safe. It's not just like, oh, let me throw my guitar and my pedal board in the car. It's like I also got to make sure I pack, hand sanitizer and masks and all that fun stuff. And but I'm certainly not complaining. I had it better than most. So yeah. Is the microphone new? No, this is the same microphone I've been using. I want to hear Champion again. Well, you can listen to it as much as you want as soon as the record's out. Oh man, it's funny. What's next? Ooh, this one's next. I know what's next. I like that I know what's next and you guys don't yet, because the record's not out. Well, some of you do. I know it's out in like Asia and Europe now. So hopefully you guys are liking the EP. If you're here, that means maybe you're streaming it on like another device and then watching this. That's cool too. Whatever does it for you. Yeah, so the next song on the EP is another song that we released in the build-up to this EP. And this song is very different than the first two. And with a truncated, time frame, like normally with a record, like a full-length record, I would try to keep the tempo up and keep some energy going through like the first 3 or 4 tracks before I shifted gears a little bit. But with a 6-song EP, everything kind of gets truncated. So I wanted this moment to feel a little different. And there's no song on this EP that feels more different than those first two than Strange World. And Strange World was really my observation about how weird it was to look out a window and realize like how long it had been since I'd been outside. And then in the same breath, like also realize, the silver lining to all this. And that is, and I've mentioned it before, just the opportunity to stop and reassess, what my goals were with my job and my career and my life. And also kind of reaffirm, what I enjoy about my job, and maybe some of the things that I don't enjoy about my job, and try to make peace with all that so that I can come out on the other side of this a little more, a little more grateful for the opportunity. Maybe it's very easy to get jaded about anything, really. But it takes a little bit of effort sometimes to not be that. And so that's kind of what I invested in this last year, was trying not to be jaded, not be such a dick. Oh man, here we go. All right, you guys. Strange World. 1, 2, 3.
All these colors and sounds, they got me out of my mind. It's like we're racing the clock and running out of time. Watch the outside burn like an effigy. We could live right here like a memory. Let the pulses run, our hearts are beating fine. Let's forget about the strange world for a minute. We got upside down, took the long way around for the feeling. Yeah, the city lights are in our head, but we don't have to leave this bed. Forget about the strange world for a minute. Let's forget about the strange world for a minute. We got upside down, took the long way around for the feeling. Yeah, the city lights are in our head, but we don't have to leave this bed. Forget about the strange world for a minute. Let's forget about the strange world for a minute. We got upside down, took the long way around for the feeling. Yeah, the city lights are in our head. We don't have to leave this bed. Forget about the strange world for a minute.
Strange World. Hey, hey. It's fun listening to these things. Once they're kind of released and out in the world, I tend not to listen to them a whole lot. As my wife will attest, I listen to them quite a bit when we're going through the mixing process and and all that. So by the time you guys have heard it, I'm normally pretty sick of them. But I haven't gotten sick of any of the songs on this EP yet. In truth, which probably says something about the songs, but any questions about that one before we move on to the next song, which if you haven't listened to the whole EP, you haven't heard this next song yet. But yeah, I'm all yours, guys. There's no time limit. We can hang. I did see something from Imogen about doing like an orchestra version. I would love to do. Honestly, like that is kind of a goal somewhere down the line. I would love to do like a record with an orchestra. So, does your wife play them in the car? I think my wife hears them enough just being in the same house as me. So by the time she gets in the car, she's probably just over it. Maybe. I don't know. Sweetheart, do you like listening to my songs? She said, hell yeah. All right, you can stay. What about the process of creating an EP is harder than making an LP, if any? I don't know if it's harder or easier. It's just different. I think with an LP, some of the pros of doing like a full length album is you have more runway to work with, more pages to kind of tell whatever story you want to tell through the process of that record. But with an EP, I think you have to set your bar a little differently. I think just because each song plays more of a role in getting you from, the starting line to the finish line. So you definitely want each song to carry its weight. Yeah, that might be the difference. Not to say that, full-length records always have filler or whatever, but there might be a song that serves in transitioning from, another song to the next, and otherwise might not exist on that collection, I guess. What kind of music does your wife like? All kinds. I think she likes a little bit of everything. Yeah. Loved hearing the band at the UCM event. Well done. Yeah. That was a blast. It was weird kind of going back and playing music from my old university that I spent more time than I needed to. How did you come to the decision of making these songs into an EP instead of an LP? I think it was more just a design of like, I want to get music out as quickly as possible, and given all the extra hurdles that kind of exist currently as far as recording, I felt like a full length might take too long. So, but what that does mean is that, I might have some more stuff out sooner rather than later. We'll see. Which track was easiest for you to record, final version, close to demo, and which was hardest and changed to what you liked better? There's a song on here that we'll get to that was easier, I think, only because it was more fully formed through the demo process. And then a song like Fire that we'll listen to in a little bit changed the most. Like, it was very different. So, yeah. Can you talk about the cover art and the Alice in Wonderland themes? Yeah, the Alice in Wonderland themes were almost more of an afterthought, if I'm being honest. I'd circled the title before I realized, or consciously realized, the connection. So, yeah, visually I like kind of the multicolored aspect of like stained glass windows, and it seemed to tie in with this idea of really kind of where secret Strange World, not Secret Garden. That's a Springsteen song. Strange World, yeah. So it was like looking through windows and realizing how strange the world is on the other side, and so then tying that into like a stained glass theme, and then you have the paint swaths that kind of go over them and reveal the color, and that was more just kind of thinking optimistically about what could be on the other side of all this, and maybe we can have a little bit of artistic control over the world we live in, and make it a little better than it was. So, and then the Alice in Wonderland theme kind of fell into place as I got further down the rabbit hole of designing this whole thing. And I realized I just said rabbit hole, which is another reference, but whatever. Yeah. what's the significance of the stained glass? Well, I think I just answered that. I think, but yeah, just I thought it was interesting visually. Do you break up the song when recording vocals or try to do takes from start to finish? I've done both ways. It depends. If I'm not feeling like 100% vocally, but feel like, all right, I can get there, and the song might, from a volume standpoint or an intensity standpoint, might live in one space all the way through. I can do it in one pass. I have done that. But I will say, admittedly, I haven't done that in a while. Typically, I break stuff up versus, because you have to set, the compressors and all that stuff a certain way for my voice to sit right. And then when you get to the chorus and everything kind of lifts and gets a little louder, you have to adjust those dials a little bit. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm just seeing thanks and compliments, which I appreciate, but I think that means it's time for another song. That's what I think it means. So this next song is the longest song on this EP. Clocks in at about 5.5 minutes. Again, the last year having an excess of time to think, which isn't always my best friend. I started thinking about just how far I've gone from where I was at in 2005, 2006. Had graduated college and moved to Oklahoma and was playing in a band down there, and trying to scrounge up cash doing whatever jobs I could find. And I grew up in the Kansas City area, and had always, I think as most anybody does, when you grow up in one spot and you're kind of relegated to that area, I kind of always had these dreams of like, I want to expand my worldview a little bit and go see places and interact with people, and music has afforded me that opportunity many times over. But as soon as I left Kansas City, I think maybe subconsciously at first and more consciously as I've gotten older, you start chasing that. You start chasing that and start getting, leaning more into nostalgia. And so Make a Move is really just kind of my homage to being that kid that wanted so desperately to get out, and see the rest of the world, and now being on the other side of some of that, realizing just how great the area that I grew up in was and is. So this is Make a Move. Assuming I do this right, I'm so impressed with myself that I haven't just blown my computer up yet. Ready, set, go.
When we were young and dumb and free, and the world was spinning at our feet, and anything was possible. Watch it run, break up the steam in the backseat, salt and body heat.
I hadn't listened through that whole song in quite a while. Yeah. Andy did fantastic work on that song. I asked a lot of Andy Skib throughout this whole process, and he delivered, man. I'm just as a friend, I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? And as a collaborator, yeah, man, dude hit it out of the park. I feel nostalgic. I miss you, Mom. Oh, Lord. It's funny. Do you have any questions about that one in particular before we move on? Yeah, I think that one's rich and ready for some questions. So lay it on me. Can we hear some of those demos? Maybe down the line. Yeah. How long did it take you to write this song? That one was written kind of here and there. I'd heard that drum beat, that I heard that in another song and kind of I borrowed it. And then the verse chord progression happened fairly quickly, and then I kind of sat with it for a while. And then the chorus kind of happened maybe like a week or two later. And if I remember right, the original bridge was just kind of a guitar solo, you know, but it didn't feel complete. It didn't feel like it served the song. It just felt like, all right, after chorus 2, I guess I'll put in a guitar solo. Yeah, so the bridge took a while. Just to get it right, you know, I wanted it to feel different than the rest of the song. I wanted it to almost be like a scene change. And then, yeah, I think as it just continued to, evolve, Andy added those strings when we were tracking, and I think it just made all the difference in the world. And really, again, it made it feel like a shift a little bit, which I love. Yeah. Are you going to substantially change the arrangement when you perform it live? This may be the rare case where you maybe shouldn't. The rare case when I shouldn't. So what you're saying is you should change a lot of your songs. No, I get it. I don't know yet. I honestly, until we really, really get out on the road with these songs, yeah, I think that's one of the fun parts of getting out on the road. Honestly, for us, it's finding new ways to play these songs, and they evolve. They continue to evolve. These songs are, music is never really static. I think, I don't think we play most songs the same way we used to. When Come Back to Me first came out, I don't think we played it the way that we do now. And Light On, we've added some little bells and whistles here and there, and I think that's true for pretty much every song in my catalog. They continue to evolve. They're living, breathing things. So, yeah. The bridge feels like an audio representation of coming out of memories and into the present. I'm totally going to steal that. Anytime somebody asks me in the future about the bridge, I'm going to steal that and just say that. Do you have a favorite? I know they're all your kids, but just wondering. No, they're all my favorites for different reasons. So I guess if you, put particular parameters on it, like, then maybe my answer changes. But no, I don't really have like one favorite. What's the most angsty song on your EP? Well, we got 2 more songs to go, but yeah, I can answer that later maybe. It is a story song, Insipid. Yeah, that song is a story song for sure. Yeah. Any other questions? I mean, it's 9:45. Let's hang. What do you got? I know some of you have to work tomorrow. Who cares? Which one did you enjoy writing the most? I was most intrigued, I think, by the lyrical inspiration behind Strange World. Maybe I just felt like, as I was writing it, I my excitement built about just the imagery of it. So, but again, I I like all the songs. What do you do to care for your voice? I don't do nearly enough to care for my voice. Yeah, that is a bad habit. So, I mean, I warm up and do all that stuff, and I learned this little Broadway trick. I like taking a Ricola and sticking it back here, but I have choked on a Ricola a couple times during shows. It's not ideal. Any TV performances in the works? Not currently, no. But that could change. I think as things open back up and we get back to whatever the hell normal is, whenever we get there, that stuff will happen hopefully a little more frequently. But right now I'm happy just to get this music out and share it with you guys and see where it takes us. So, Manuka honey and ginger tea, correct? Yes. Why do you go by your real name instead of the band name The Anthemic? The Anthemic never really caught on, unfortunately. And that was kind of that was one of the differences of opinion I think myself and the label had. I kind of wanted to do the band thing. It's where I was, it's where I felt most comfortable. And we tried to do like David Cook but nothing ever really became official with it, and it just kind of did what it did. So, any other Broadway tricks that you've learned? Yeah. So Ricola on one side, and then at one point I would always do like yellow or orange Sour Patch Kids back here just to kind of keep, this is kind of gross, but to keep the saliva going. Are you planning to go back on Idol to perform? We haven't set anything up, but I mean, if they asked, I might do it. Yeah. Why is Death of Me not on the EP? Good question. It just didn't. I don't know. Sometimes it's just they're all puzzle pieces. They got to fit right. Are you happy or not working for a label? I'm not more or less happy. I'm just kind of the same. I like being able to see the creative vision through a little easier, but there's pros and cons to all of it. So yeah. On that note, I think it's time for another song, don't you? Were there a lot of songs that didn't make the cut? There were a few. I mean, it's not like when I was writing This Loud Morning and I wrote 87 songs or anything, but there were a few, yeah, that are still sitting on the computer downstairs. So, all right, so we just finished Make a Move. The next song is actually my current single, and I know what you're thinking. Track 5 on the EP is the new single. Yeah, because it doesn't matter what order you put them in, just so long as they gel together and there's a flow, and yeah. Anything? Okay, it's time to play this song. Track number 5 on the Looking Glass EP is Fire. I just wanted to say it like that. I don't know why. And every time I say the title of this song, I think of Ryan Starr's song, Start a Fire, but no relation. I wasn't listening to that when I wrote this. I didn't even think about it when I was writing it. It wasn't until after the fact. So he can't sue me. I mean, he could, but he'd lose. Either way, because I don't have anything to give him. Here we go.
The only way that I wanna survive is breathing in the smoke, living in your eyes. You set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. Don't matter what the darkness brings, we got all the light that we'll ever need. You set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. Temperatures are rising, pulses raging like a lion, while everything around us lights the sky. A bright match, a heat wave, burning brighter than a new day, and I am not about to question why. The only way that I wanna survive is breathing in the smoke, living in your eyes. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. Don't matter what the darkness brings, we got all the light that we'll ever need. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. sing, floating up against the ceiling, fireworks against the sky. The moment is reeling, standing up against this feeling, and I am not about to question why. The only way that I wanna survive is breathing in the smoke, living in your eyes. You set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. Don't matter what the darkness brings, we got all the light that we'll ever need. You set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. I-R-E. Light all the matches, dance on the ashes. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. I-R-E. Watch as she rises, flickers and flashes. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. The only way that I wanna survive is breathing in the smoke, living in your eyes. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. Don't matter what the darkness brings, we got all the light that we'll ever need. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. Yeah, you set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire. You set my heart on fire.
That was fire. Fun little tidbits about that song. So the FIRE voice. So originally that was supposed to be the original thinking was that was going to be a big giant gang vocal. But because of how close the letters were as far as like the timing goes, it would have been a nightmare to really try to track and make sound big and reverby and not like have the reverb from the F carry over the I and almost drown it out. And so we were kind of noodling around in the studio and came up with the speak and spell, which worked perfectly. It's just, in my opinion, it's just like tongue in cheek enough to work, while not being like a complete vibe killer for the song. At least I don't think. And then the gang vocals, we did, so Andy and I layered, we would sing, I think we did like 3 or 4 tracks of us doing it. And then Andy's wife, helped us out and did a couple overdubs. And then we actually had, Andy's son Bennett sing a couple rounds on it too. So he's buried in there as well. I think he's done he's recorded other stuff for like his dad, but, I was very excited. He's we both like Legos. It's more socially appropriate for him to like Legos than it is for me since I'm almost 40, but we both like Legos. And he calls me his Lego enemy. I don't know why I'm his enemy, but whatever. So yeah, but he was nice enough to lend his voice to this as well. So, yeah, fun little notes about that song. Any questions? We got one song left, you guys. Do you have any other questions? The DH thought the speak and spell was brilliant. So I've seen, I got asked, so I've seen that abbreviation before. DH to me means designated hitter. That's not what that means though for you guys. And I've seen some of you use it before, so I don't know what DH means. What did you do with his Legos? I didn't do anything. In fact, I think I've given him some Legos. So, does he get residuals? Judy, hush. Don't even put that out into the atmosphere. Just leave it alone. I don't need to hear it. Darling husband, dear husband. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Honestly, so Imogen said adults should also play. Legos are great. They're expensive. My God. Deb Quimby said dumb husband. So Which is it? Is it darling husband, dear husband, or dumb husband, or designated hitter? Maybe they're all correct. I don't know. What was your initial reaction when Andy first suggested speeding the song up? A great question. My initial reaction was, don't be ridiculous, Andy. I'm not going to do that. But Andy has a way of getting me to do things that I don't want to do as far as recording goes. So I do trust his judgment quite a bit. Like, I'll text him like at least once a month and be like, dude, any music recommendations? Because for whatever reason, like, he always seems to know of some band that I've never heard of that's just is killer, and they become like one of my new favorite bands. So, do you have a certain spot in your house where you write most songs? Yeah, down in my studio, down in the basement. So it depends on the husband. I'm sure it does. Oh man. Will we ever hear the slowed down version? Maybe. In the words of Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. Fire really sounded amazing live with the full band. Thank you. I can't wait for you guys to hear it with like electric guitars and all that, you know? Oh, you guys, I've started a side conversation about DH. Do you watch Lego Masters? I haven't watched every episode, but I've watched a few of them, and I'm into it. It's impressive. I couldn't do what they do. Like, I need like the instruction booklet that tells me where to put pieces. So I need to find someone to put this $400 Star Wars Lego set I had to buy. I tried and gave up. I'm still trying to finish the Roman Colosseum right now. Do you write one song at a time or a few and go back and forth? Typically one at a time. Otherwise, I feel like I would I'd just have a bunch of like half-finished songs, and then I'd get overwhelmed and not finish any of them. So, any chance Andy will ever step out from behind the curtain? I don't know. I think he, never say never, but I think his touring days might be behind him. But stranger things have happened. Instruction bass or freeform Legos? Oh, I'm instructions all day. Yeah, I'm not a master builder by any stretch. Will you be doing a video for Fire? There's no plans for it right now, but again, I mean, nothing is concrete right now. Weren't you trying to build the Death Star? Oh, I wasn't trying. I succeeded. That thing's done. Sitting on a table downstairs. Actually, no, it's not. It's on top of a bookshelf downstairs now. So. Thanks for answering. Trying to convert my basement into a studio. Maybe it will become a writing sanctuary too. It's each their own. I think it depends on what inspires you. Like, if there's a spot that you get inspired, make that your writing spot. Doesn't have to be anything else. Do you know what guitar you'll play as you're writing a song? Sometimes. I made a conscious effort actually to use, I have a baritone guitar that my buddy Nick Gibson Frankenstein together for me. And I'd been wanting to use it for a couple of recordings now, and finally got to use it. So Champion is at least for me, it's exclusively a baritone guitar song. And then when we were tracking Strange World, I don't play it live, but I did supplement the bass guitar with my baritone. So, do you make a specific effort to bring in new musical elements to your recordings, or is it more of a whatever best serves the song situation? Love that each EP as of late brings in new types of instruments. A bit of both. I will occasionally be conscious of like, oh, I want to see if I can like shoehorn this into a song. But more and more, yeah, it's more just kind of what serves the song. If Andy and I are sitting there recording something, and we notice that some particular moment is lacking or needs a little extra bell or whistle, we might go on a search for that, and then it just becomes happy accident kind of stuff. Which there are a few happy accidents on the CP, as there are on anything I put out. Just things where it's like, oh, we weren't planning on that, but it kind of sounds cool. Let's keep it. In fact, the last song on this record has a pretty big happy accident. I'll say that. So Has the ukulele made it onto a song? No, it hasn't. I don't think. No, it hasn't. I've never heard of a baritone guitar. It's the strings are thicker on it, neck's a little longer, so it's you can like the low string on a regular guitar. If you're tuning to like a standard tuning, the low string on a standard guitar would be like an E, would be a low E. And then I think then if you go, the next string down would be, let me think about this for a second. A B would be a B. So the B below that is kind of the low string on a baritone. So, do you write a song with your vocal sweet spot in mind, or just go where the song takes you? Usually when I get an idea in my head initially, I don't think about my vocal range. And then if the song starts to come to fruition and all that, then I might, I might have to adjust the key to accommodate for my voice. Yeah. All right, you guys, let's go to the final song on the CP. This one's kind of hard to explain a little bit. Well, it's not really hard to explain. I just need to not worry about it so much. This last song is kind of my my plea, my homage, me crystallizing my feelings about a lot of the social unrest the last year, and really, for the last long while. I think one of the byproducts of being at home so much and not having more of the distractions, I think is the word to use, that existed before all this. You watch the news and you can't help but be struck by just some of the horrific things that are happening, and I think growing up, maybe that stuff felt so far away, not something that happened here. And now it's kind of all laid bare. And I'm sure it was happening before and we just didn't see it, or wasn't faced with it to the degree that we are right now. And it's sad. And I think we can and probably should absolutely do a hell of a lot better. But this song is just really me kind of crystallizing my thoughts about that. This song actually didn't change a whole lot from demo to finished version. In fact, I think we might have used the demo vocal on this one. But yeah, I hope you guys dig it. This is Going Back.
The scars are right there, breaking the surface, coming up for air. How did we get here? How did we get here? I saw the images, blood in the streets, pulses fading fast, permanent damages for broken messages. Hold on to the memories, the specks of dust floating in the atmosphere, trying to find a way to attack. It's all just a masquerade, dancing to the drums, the battles of a yesteryear. But we ain't ever going back. No, we ain't going back. No, we ain't going back. What was so long ago, when we were great and everything was right. No, I don't wanna go just 'cause you say so. Stuck in the undertow, can't find a way to turn it all around and find the afterglow. Feels like I'll never know. Hold on to the memories, the specks of dust floating in the atmosphere, trying to find a way to attack. It's all just a masquerade, dancing to the drums, the battles of a yesteryear. But we ain't ever going back. No, we ain't 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 going back.
I'd mentioned earlier, those happy little accidents that always seem to happen during recording process. I think every record I've had or I've ever made has had, those little happy moments and that just weren't intended, but somehow stayed on the record. So that sound at the end is actually two sounds together. Andy, he had this candle in his studio that had like a wood wick. I think the brand is actually wood wick. And whenever he would light it, it was always super loud, like obnoxiously loud. And so he recorded that. And then while he was recording that, he accidentally had another microphone on, like in the room. And across from the room in his studio is they've got this laundry room, and the dryer was going. And that microphone picked up the dryer. And so those two sounds together are kind of what you hear there at the end. And then the idea of that sound kind of gaining steam throughout the song and then getting louder there at the end. I wanted the end of that song to feel jarring and maybe a little uncomfortable. Because I do think that the subject matter of that song is uncomfortable, but I certainly think it's a discomfort that we need to lean into. So, yeah. And with that, that's the EP. Do you guys have any questions about that song or the EP as a whole before we end this little shindig? Kaz has it, burning out. I like it. Will you get vaccinated or have you? I will absolutely get vaccinated. I'm halfway there. So, were you listening to anything as inspiration for the EP? Sometimes in the writing process, I'll listen to stuff, just not anything in particular, but I'll just kind of listen to stuff and maybe like try to find, like I'd mentioned earlier about a drum beat that kind of steered me in the direction for Make a Move. Just little things like that, like a beat or something, or a tempo or a sound, stuff like that. But then once I do get into the recording process, I try not to listen to to too much because I don't want to be overly influenced and, inadvertently stumble onto something that, I'm not trying to steal anybody else's vibe. So, yeah, I ain't trying to get sued. Were you using a vocoder? Is this the first time for you? Kind of. It wasn't exactly a vocoder. It was like a software thing, like an Antares harmony engine thing, but effectively a vocoder. And I tried that on other songs, and that was kind of the first one that passed whatever test we put in front of these songs. So. Excellent final song. Very intriguing. Thank you so much. You guys are super nice. I'm surprised you don't have more questions. Just a lot of thanks, which I'm humbled by. I'm glad you enjoy the record. I'm glad you enjoy this record as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. And I do say this sincerely. I could not have made this record without you guys. So thank you for supporting the making of the CP. And now we are less than an hour away on the East Coast. It's exciting. How will you perform it live with that effect or without? You'll have to tune in to our mandolin shows and find out. Well, thank you guys. Goodness. Is this it? Are we done? You guys are all saying thank you like we're done here. No more questions? You guys are easy. Can we hear those demos? Not tonight. Maybe someday. Wait, somebody said, why is the pandemic making you feel hopeful instead of depressed? I don't know that it's making me feel hopeful instead of depressed. I mean, as like everybody, I've certainly had my down moments this last year. I think it's just trying to survive through it, I mean, eventually whatever normal's supposed to be is going to pop back up, and yeah, I'd like to be here for it. So do you have co-writers on any of the songs? Not on this one. This one was all me. Hopefully that's a good thing. Because if not, it's too late to go back. Have you already started writing your next EP? I'm compiling ideas right now. Fool's April said it best. Each show does have a 48-hour replay. So even if you can't tune in the night of the show, you have 48 hours after that to catch it. So, yeah. Were you ever concerned about releasing music? Of course. During the pandemic? Yeah, absolutely. There's no game plan for this. There's no book that kind of tells you how to do it. So, yeah. I'm still nervous about that. But the alternative was to do nothing, and that didn't seem like a viable option. So songs you write, so it's terrific. Oh, well, thank you. Right on. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad you guys showed up tonight and went on this fun little recap journey with me. So can't wait for Sunday. Hope you guys are all tuning in for that. Just a reminder, again, if you can't tune in Sunday night, you have 48 hours to watch that. And then we got 2 more shows in May with Mandolin. They're going to be fun. And then we just opened up some tickets for an additional meet and greet on Sunday before the shows. So if you want to join me for that and say hey, and we can chat them up and chat them up. What does that even mean? If you want to meet me and greet me, there's some opportunity there for you. So, right on, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Buy, stream, listen to the Looking Glass EP. It's out at midnight. And that's crazy to me. So, and now for my favorite slide of this whole show. You guys. Ta-ta.